Corrections Minister Sam Lotu-Iiga is in a whole lot of trouble this morning. Every day his opposition is landing blow after blow, and he's just taking it. On top of the Fight Club revelations, there are now claims inmates are effectively taking over at the Serco-run Mount Eden prison, making their own alcohol, cigarettes and weapons and barricading themselves in rooms. Sam Lotu-Iiga is under fire. He joins me now from Wellington. Sam, good morning to you.
Good morning, Paul.
OK, you've got to come out fighting this morning, Sam, because things are looking bad. It seems to me Kelvin Davis, with his death by 1,000 cuts, is really hurting you and the ministry.
Well, no, we've got some reviews in place and we're investigating some of the allegations that he's made. But I've asked Kelvin to actually come up with some evidence, come up with some concrete evidence, some affidavits or any evidence to suggest what he's saying is true. But, you know, we're looking at what happened at Serco. Clearly I'm unhappy, and so are the public of New Zealand, with the images that we sent out last week, and that's why we've ordered a thorough review of what went on. OK, to be fair, Sam, you just don't seem unhappy enough, to be honest. I'm talking just as a normal New Zealander, as a taxpayer, you just don't seem to be cut up enough about this. Now, Kelvin Davis, as you know, is playing politics, so he's not going to give you the proof you want. You're the guy that has to come up with proof that these things are not happening. Now, let's talk about the practice of dropping. Why did you say you only heard about those rumours, about those allegations this week, when in actual fact you heard about them a month ago? Oh, no, I heard about them this week. Nothing was mentioned in the select committee about dropping. He did mention allegations about people being thrown over balconies.
Well, that's dropping. He also mentioned Sam, that's dropping. He mentioned allegations about someone who died being dropped over a balcony.
Well, no, he mentioned two different things. No, he mentioned allegations about throwing people over balconies, and then he mentioned a person who died up north. I said to him at that time that investigations, a coronial inquest was being made into that death. And there's nothing more that we can do until we get the findings of that coronial inquest.
So when this came up again,
as well as the Chief Inspectorate's investigation.
So when this came up again, you claimed only to have just heard about it this week, whereas, as you're saying now, he brought this up in a select committee a month ago.
No, he brought up this term called dropping only this week.
Oh, so it's the term itself that you'd only just heard this week, not the incident.
That's right. But the allegations that he brought forward, I asked Mr Davis if it was such a concern, why hasn't he brought any evidence since he brought it up at Select Committee?
Because he's playing politics.
Because he has none.
It's because he's playing politics.
We all know he's playing politics. But, you know, I'm talking to Serco later this morning. I've called them in and for our regular meeting. And I'm going to ask them...
So you haven't called them in, have you, Sam? It's a regular meeting. You haven't called them in.
Well, it's a regular meeting, but
so there's nothing special about today. This is the meeting that you have every month.
Well, it is special because we've got some serious allegations out in the media. I'm asking them to answer the questions around some of those allegations.
Okay.
I'm asking them to fully cooperate with the review. And I'm also asking them to fully communicate with me if there are any issues that arise in their prisons.
OK, but you see, this is not the way these things should work, Sam, is it? I mean, it shouldn't be laundered through the media before you talk to Serco about it. These people have shown you up. You're the fall guy for Serco.
And I've told them about my disappointment around that, and I will reiterate that they need to communicate better with me and better with the Department of Corrections around what's going on at Serco. All I'm asking them to do is come clean with me, with the Department of Corrections, but especially with the people of New Zealand.
So they have not been clean with you, have they?
Well, I have not been communicated certain information before it's hit the media.
They've hidden things from you, haven't they, Sam?
Well, I wouldn't say they've hidden things from me.
They just haven't hidden things from you.
They haven't elevated
the riot at the prison, they hid from you because they knew it would cost them money if you found out about it.
Well, I've been informed that it wasn't a riot.
Who informed you? Who told you it wasn't a riot?
Relatively quickly.
Who told you it wasn't a riot?
We will need to look into that.
Who told you it wasn't a riot?
Well,
Serco told you it wasn't a riot, didn't they? Serco told you it wasn't a riot.
No, the Department of Corrections told me yesterday that it wasn't a riot.
And who told them? Serco told them. Do you see, this is the whole point that I'm making. They're making a mockery of you. And the reason you're letting them do this is because the privatisation of prisons is a key policy to the national government.
Well, it's not... Well, hang on. This isn't about ideology. This is about fixing up our prisons. And might I say that our prisons are dangerous right across this country. We're dealing with some of the most dangerous, volatile people in our society.
That's why we've got prisons.
That's why they're behind prison, And so assaults, serious assaults, they don't just happen at Serco, they happen all around this country. And, our job in corrections is to stop this happening.
If these things that I have been hearing, let's just talk about the things I've heard through the media, not from you, not from Serco, but through the media. If the things I've heard over the last couple of weeks are true, Mount Eden is a cot case and it's being run badly by Serco, and Serco have kept you in the dark because they know if you find out about it, it'll cost them money.
Well, there will be serious consequences if some of the allegations are proved to be true.
Do you think that's a fair assessment from me? Do you think that's a fair assessment, Sam?
Well, we don't know. That's why a review's in place. That's why we've got the Chief Inspectorate.
You're the Minister of Corrections.
The
this is the whole thing. You should know. You're the Minister of Corrections, Sam. You should know these things.
We're finding these things out in a review. We're finding we need to investigate what happened at Mount Eden Prison.
We won't talk about reviews anymore
mean.
because reports have already been written that haven't been shown to you. Let's talk about the Fight Club. So this is where we were launched into this. This is where the drip feeding from Kelvin Davis comes from. Started with fight clubs. A report was written about that, a year ago? And when did you see that report?
I saw that report. Well, it was sent to my office on Saturday. I read the report earlier this week.
So 12 short months later, the Minister of Corrections got to see the report.
And I'm not happy about that. I'm not happy about that. I've asked the department
why they didn't elevate. So who pays the price for you not being happy? But I've told you why, Sam. The reason that you didn't find out about this is because Serco are looking after their income. And this is you handing an argument to the opposition on a plate that privatisation of prisons will not work.
Well, no, that was the department not elevating that report to me. And they didn't elevate that report because they said that the allegations couldn't be substantiated. But I'm disappointed that they didn't elevate the report anyway.
OK, so Ray Smith, has he got to go?
Well, look, no, I've got confidence in Ray Smith.
Why? Because they didn't pass that report on to you. This is the whole thing, Sam. If you were really annoyed, I want to see you really pissed off about this because you're in the gun.
Paul,
Ray Smith didn't make sure the Minister of Corrections saw this report.
Ray Smith read that report for the first time on Saturday. So Ray Smith needs to talk to his staff about when that report should have been elevated. And it should have been elevated a lot earlier than it was last week.
So hang on, I paid for that report to be done because I'm a taxpayer. So I paid for a report to be written that wasn't shown to the CEO of Corrections or the Minister of Corrections until it hit the fan. Is that right?
Well, that's right.
I want my money back,
Sam. It came late to us, and it should have come earlier. And I've made that quite clear with Ray and the team at Corrections that we need to get them to better communicate with me as the Minister, and Serco certainly need to better communicate with them as the department.
Why is it not reasonable to expect Serco, the boss who's here at the moment, to front up to a select committee and answer questions like the ones I'm asking you now?
Well, that's a matter for the Select Committee, but when I called the chairman of the Select Committee last night, he said that they believe that the reviews are in place and that there's no requirement at this stage to bring Serco before the Select Committee.
But, it's like you take Serco to reviews kicking and screaming, and as much as possible they keep under the radar so that you don't find out about it. You just seem so level-headed. You're such a nice guy, but as I said at the beginning, this is it for you. If you can't fix this, if you can't appear to be in charge of this and in control of this and turn the situation around, I would say in the next couple of weeks, you're down the road, Sam.
Well, I'm not down the road. I've undertaken to fix it. I've told the Prime Minister we will fix it. There are reviews in place, and I will be outlining my expectations and the expectations of New Zealanders to Serco this morning about what they need to do to fix this.
At your regular monthly meeting. Is Serco under notice?
They're certainly under notice, and they know that there are serious consequences for breaches of the contract, and so they're under notice, and there'll be some serious consequences if some of these allegations prove to be true.
Finally, how serious? Could they lose this contract?
We don't know. Look, there are a number of clauses in the contract, fines, there's penalties, but it's too early at this stage to make that conclusion.
All right, Sam.
But, let's see the review and then we'll form our conclusions.
This is an embarrassment for you. It's an embarrassment for the government, and it's a big win for the opposition, isn't it?
Well, no, it's not. we've got an investigation underway, and I've asked Kelvin Davis to please produce the evidence.
Yeah, but it's not his job to produce
so
it,
that
really.
we can get to the bottom of this.
Yeah, he's just a shabby member of the opposition, you know. He's doing a great job. It's you. You have to run the ship, you know, not him. Okay, Sam, thanks.
Okay, thank you.
So that meeting with Sam Lotu-Iiga is at 11 o'clock this morning. It's a regular meeting, and Sam presumably will haul Serco over the coals. We'll follow up on that a little bit later.